Hello and welcome to this new episode of the Level Cap Podcast, where I, Marco De Santos, also known as Mechanic Critic, bring you news alongside my partner, Brad, but also a very special guest. Who is it? Well, you'll find out after the opening stinger and otherwise.
It's Fabio.
Why do you do this, Brad?
Just to make you a liar. Marco is a liar. Because you found out before the stinger.
Oh no. Okay. Or otherwise.
It's too hard to edit. You can't disentangle our voices now.
It's true. It's a bit hard to edit, but with enough will, determination, and the strength of Spider-Man, I'm able to do it, Brad. I'm able to do it.
You missed an opportunity to do the strength of otherwise.
That's true.
That will be your downfall.
Actually, it is my downfall. So welcome to the Level Cap Podcast, everyone. I'm happy to have all of you here today, dear listener.
And welcome to our special guest, Fabio Fonch.
Yo.
I keep forgetting that's how you pronounce his name.
I said it right. Fonch, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Close enough.
Yeah, it's as close as you're going to get. So,
I could basically speak Portuguese now.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Actually, it's definitely true that you can speak Portuguese the same way I can speak Spanish, because my last name is Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Is
it?
De Santos.
What does De Santos even mean?
The Saints.
The Saint.
Of Saints.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be De Santos De Santos?
Wait, what?
If it was the Saint of Saints, it would be like De Santos De Santos.
No. De Santos means of Saints.
Yeah, of Saints. But if it was like of the Saint of Saints.
Yeah, of the Saint of Saints, I think you're a holy man, and I think you're a level 6 paladin at that point. If you become a Saint of Saints. So, in case anybody doesn't know, Fabio, can you please tell us who you are, what you do? Because I think you are our first guest, but we haven't had you on for a while. So we might have some new listeners who don't know what you do.
Right. All the people who listened to the first podcast have probably passed on of old age at this point.
Wait a
minute.
We need
to let the younger generation know who is Fabio Fonch. What kind of person is he? What does he eat on his sandwich every day?
Very important question. So, take it away, Fabio.
I don't eat sandwiches. I'm cutting on carbs. I told you already. Also, I'm the schmuck that drew all the art for Millennium Blades. My hand's still aching.
It's still drawing, too. We've still got plenty more Millennium Blades.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh.
For the next 1,000 years.
For the next millennia, you should say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That sounds like the seed for a really great like comic book, like an artist trapped in a cage for 1,000 years to finish the ultimate art project, and then he emerges into a new world where art is totally different.
Art is outlawed, and the only way to get it back is to team up with Charles Barkley and go on a grand adventure where you must defeat Michael Jordan. Right?
Huh. Yeah.
Wouldn't those two be dead by now?
Unless they were also in a cage making art, and that's how they got their powers.
Yeah, indeed. They were making basketball art. That's because basketball is its own art, you know? They were doing some sick dunks.
I think we've devolved to a plot worse than Shaq Fu.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam is way worse than Shaq Fu, and way worse than this concept I just gave you.
Hey, Quad City DJ remixes are awesome. Especially the one of Pepsi Man's team.
With Space Jam?
Yes. I'll show you later.
It's all glorious. Alright, so we have a wonderful docket for all of you tonight. We promise it will not include Space Jam, or Charles Barkley, or Quad City DJs, but it will include talking about Level 99 Games things, and some really cool projects, and answering some of the questions you guys have burning in your pocket. Okay, on this week, we would like to start our segment with the games of our lives, also known as What Have You Been Doing? Where the real question here is I ask my guests what they have been doing. So Brad, Fabio, I'd like to ask both of you, what have you been doing?
Well, we should probably ask one of us first.
All right, I'll ask Brad since he always goes first, then to our guest.
Me first?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm actually playing the release edition of Dead Cells, which I've been really enjoying. Made some great rebalancing changes and additions to the game. since we played it in early access.
Yep.
And even though the game looks and feels very similar, the changes are really big. And mechanically, the game feels a lot different and much better, I think, than even the early access, which I thought was really good. So that's what I've been doing a lot of, playing a lot of Dead Cells, and also doing a lot of planning for the future for our 2019 projects, and just making sure that I'm caught up on stuff. So yeah. Work and life.
Work and life. I think that's a very nice encapsulation of what we all do. How about you, Fabio? What have you been doing? Is it also work and life?
Well, work certainly. I mean, rent and paying itself. Gaming. I haven't done a lot of gaming lately. So much as I've been tinkering with gaming hardware. And
okay,
I'm not sure I can talk about this here. Can we talk about emulation?
Yeah, you can talk about emulation.
Oh, okay. So
for personal use.
Yeah, so I got this cheap handheld for $50 on AliExpress. I was just about to tell you the website.
Yeah, don't recommend any websites, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a little Chinese handheld that you can get for $50. This thing can run PS1 games. Like it doesn't even have a dedicated GPU or anything. But
is it actually like a handheld gaming system, or is it a little mini computer that you had to add?
No, it's
features to.
It's an actual handheld, or it has the form factor of a handheld, and the stock firmware, that is the software it comes with, it sucks. Like you try to run, like it can't even run NES properly. That's how bad it is, right out of the box. But the community got a hold of it, and not only they managed to get Game Boy, NES, Genesis, or Mega Drive as it should have been called, Super NES, Game Boy Advance. It's actually a funny story of why it's called the Genesis. But not only did they get everything to work, including Neo Geo. Yes, this thing can run Neo Geo. They actually got the first PlayStation to work rather decently on this thing. Like most 2D games will run fine, and some 3D ones.
Oh man, if it's a PS1 emulator and it can't run Digimon World 1, I think it's a useless machine and shouldn't be played. It's like pointless. Have PS1 can't even run Digimon World 1. What's the point?
I believe it actually can.
Hey, there's only one PS1 game that matters, and that's Guys. God Bless the Ring.
You guys are both wrong. It's Pepsi Man.
Okay, he's
and
not
by
wrong.
the way, yes, it can run Pepsi Man. I tried.
It's a great game. I love Pepsi Man. An absurd concept.
It's one of the OG runner games. Like
it is just Temple Run. Simple. It is just Temple Run with Pepsi, right?
Yeah, and weirder, if you can imagine that.
Definitely. Yeah,
those kind of branded games are always crazy. Do you guys remember Sneak King on the PS2? I think
Sneak King. What's that?
It was this free game that you could get in like the Burger King Happy Meal.
God, for the PS. Wait, for the 360, wasn't it?
I don't remember. Maybe it was 360, but you played as like the Burger King king.
I remember seeing
and you would like sneak up on people and give them burgers. That was the weirdest thing.
What the actual heck, guys?
Marco, look it up. I remember it now. It's as weird as it looks.
I will look it up after pod. I'm looking it up right now, okay? And if I am not like impressed, if I'm not, look, guys, I have been watching anime for the. Okay, this is bizarre.
You won't be impressed, but you might be horrified. It might leave an impression.
It will leave an impression. I can tell you that.
Why does he look like? Why does this look like a bad GTA mod?
Yes, yes, it does.
I just have this GIF. I will send you guys this GIF that I just saw. Here you go, guys. Look at this GIF that I found.
So you're a GIF kind of person.
Yeah, I am a GIF. It's GIF. The creator calls it a GIF. It's GIF.
Moms choose GIF.
Moms choose GIF. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, but
see this?
The G stands for graphical, not giraffical. There are no giraffes in it unless it's a GIF with giraffes in it.
Yep, that's the one.
What is this image that I am seeing? If you are listening to this podcast on YouTube, you will see this GIF on screen right now. What is this? Look at him creeping, man. Okay, anyway. Oh my gosh. Fabio, so that's what you've been doing. Are any of you going to ask me what I've been doing? Are you?
What have you been doing?
taking pictures of Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, I'm playing Spider-Man on the PS4.
Okay.
It is absolutely
Wait,
glorious.
right now, as we podcast, you're also playing Spider-Man?
No, I can't do that, man. Because the thing is, when I play Spider-Man on the PS4, I have to be 100% dedicated to the game because the web swinging is just so good that I can't focus on anything else but the web swinging, because I just want to revel in the moment where I'm freaking Spider-Man in New York City. It's just so good.
I've heard that it's pretty good.
Oh, it's
You
so
recommend
good.
it then?
I highly recommend it. We should probably do a game club for it after I finish it and you finish Horizon Zero Dawn, and then you finish it, and then whatever. We should probably talk about it sometime. It's just so good. The game feel is so good. Basically, it just like I was speculating before about how I felt like it would just be like the Arkham Batman games, but better because you're Spider-Man. And I wasn't incorrect. It's basically like an Arkham game, except it's open world, and instead of like having to traverse everything using like weird parkour, you web swing.
I liked the weird parkour though.
But the web swinging, Brad. Like,
Can't
did you
you do
play
both?
Spider-Man?
I'll see. I'll see.
Did you
Can't
play
you do
Spider-Man
both?
too?
Yeah, I don't know. I like Batman. I don't know if I'll be able to put up with Spider-Man for as long as I was able to put up with Batman.
I mean,
I
it's
guess
only
we'll
one
see.
game. It's only one game. Batman has like 3 games, right? So
Yeah, like even Batman. Like, all right, so Arkham. By the time I got to Arkham Knight, it was pretty hilarious. Like, in one night, Batman was doing like ridiculous amounts of stupid stuff and getting all kinds of terrible wounds and still powering through. You know, and it's like I got to save the world 5 times tonight. It was not really believable in Arkham Knight, but we all just laughed and went along with it. Like, yeah, sure.
yeah,
Sounds like
it's
yet
memes.
another Batman comic to me. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, whatever, guys. Just play Spider-Man. It's great. If you like Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, it's basically like the granddaddy of that. It's like the spiritual successor to that game. Hats off to Insomniac. I love you guys. The end. So that's what we've been doing for this week. I'm really excited to find out what you guys have been doing. Listeners, how about you guys? What have you been doing? Tell us in the comment section down below, and Brad and Marco or Fabio, whatever, might tell you that your thing is cool. So, next segment. I'm really excited for this segment, Brad, especially that we have a special guest on, so you can like combo here, because usually in this segment I shut up and do nothing. Welcome to the Pipeline, where we talk about Level 99 games, news and developments, and production stuff, when you want to see behind the scenes or behind the level cap. So, Brad, Fabio, tell me, any news about Level 99 games projects that we're working on that we can share to the lovely listeners of our podcast?
Well, actually, we were just talking about future projects and about the progress of Millennium Blade's Collusion. So, as some of you may know, Fabio is working on the next Millennium Blades expansion right now, which is Millennium Blades Collusion.
Save me!
Oh, you love it. You love it. Don't be like that. I've seen the stuff you come up with. You can't come up with that stuff.
Yeah, it gives me a chance to screw around.
Van Diesel, guys. It's the best.
Yes. Yes. Credits to Josh. He's the one who came up with that one.
Have you seen
came
the
up with
art
the
for
idea.
Van Diesel, Brad? Have you seen the art?
Yes, I have seen this Nightmare Fuel.
I put it
Van
up on
Diesel runs on
DeviantArt.
Nightmare Fuel.
It's not DeviantArt.
Yeah, well, it's certainly deviant, so
Yeah.
no complaints there.
Do you think Fabio and Josh should get arrested for creating this? Is this an arrestable offense?
I don't know that it's arrestable, you know. It's certainly Philippines arrestable.
Oh my gosh, no, we're not going there.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, no, so here's the thing.
So
here's
much
the thing.
nope.
In this video, you will now be seeing the Nightmare Fuel, or the Dream Machine that is Van Diesel. He is Vin Diesel, but a van, and I hope all of you enjoy it, or are terrified.
Nobody enjoyed this except Fabio and you.
Oh,
Fabio,
believe it. I did.
Oh my
gosh.
Yes, Brad.
All right, so Millennium Blades Collusion. You know what? Like, Marco, if we're on YouTube, throw the cover up. Throw the cover up for Collusion.
Yes. Okay, so here it is.
This is like the coolest board game cover that we've ever had in the history of Level 99 games. No offense, Noko. This is ace.
This is ace.
We have ducks.
there's flying ducks, there's like falling stars, there's
Don't forget,
like the epic crossover. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. True. Well, I'll say that in front of the artist. All art is art, but this is top cut.
Are you saying that this is better than the true masters? Like, this beats Picasso, blows him out of the water.
Like, yeah. Like Rembrandt's got nothing on this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you guys have to see this thing. It is a modern piece of
Dutch
art.
masters, you don't know about the Portuguese masters.
Yeah, like
AKA Fabio Fonch.
Yeah, I've seen the art for this. I've actually made it into a meme. We can make this cover into a meme right now on the video. 1, 2, 3, memed.
How are you memeing this?
You know that? So for the listeners, the cover basically is the thing I used for this episode. But it basically has a picture of Dex and Moray shaking hands, right? And then there's like a collection of all the other characters on the bottom, right? That's essentially what the layout is like.
Yeah.
So you take the picture of Dex and you take the picture of Moray, and you can just adapt that meme that they used from The Predator, right? Like where Arnold Schwarzenegger like does that manly handshake with the other guy. And then like that's it. That's the meme, right? So you put one thing, and then in the middle is something that both of these parties can agree on, right? So
okay.
So for example, like BattleCon players, Fight Club enthusiasts, and like this is a brawler is in the middle, right? Like,
oh, I see. Okay, it's one of those memes.
Yeah, or what I did was like, I literally used this art to make a meme. It was like CCG players, meme lords, and then in the middle is like Millennium Blades.
I see.
Yeah,
okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, so Brad. Fabio, can you just please tell me about this game? Please tell me about what's happening, what you guys have been doing, what's it all about. I mean, we had Josh previously on the podcast discuss a bit about the background and the lore. How about production? When's the Kickstarter going up? What's in it? What's it about? What are we gonna do? How many expansions? How many new card sets? New characters? Well, tell me.
A crap ton.
Yeah. So this game is this expansion is about, I say it's as big as set rotation, maybe a little bigger, Fabio?
Yeah, I would say a little bigger, yeah.
Yeah, it's got 6 new characters. It's got, I would say like 20 card sets.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right?
I'm not going to count them right now, but
okay.
Yeah, that should be about it, yeah.
There's a bunch of those. There's the team mode, which is new.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also adding some new variants in the instead of I would say instead of the money victory points in the game, we're adding a new system of quests where you will use your money, because we felt like a lot of players were hoarding money in Millennium Blades to get points, and that was kind of the idea that you make money and money is VPs, but what we really wanted was that victory condition didn't interact with the game in the way we would like. So the NPCs now, they have requests for certain kinds of cards, and you use your money to buy them the cards they want, and that's how you score their victory points. So it's kind of like a quest system, and so instead of hoarding a bunch of money to get VPs, you use your money to complete the quests to get VPs.
I see. So it's more of like you have specific like people who want specific cards, then you use your money to buy it in the aftermarket or from other players.
Yeah. So it's like it's like money VPs, but it's not. So this will replace getting points for the amount of money that you.
How dare you nerf my main? How dare you?
Well, he's not nerfed because now he can help more people.
Still, I liked keeping all my money, Brad boy.
well, what can you do, right?
Yeah, okay. You don't stand a ghost of a chance. So any other news? Like, when's the Kickstarter for this? Is this going to be kickstarted, or are we going to just like...
It will probably be early next year, and I'm thinking like between January and March.
So is it going to be before or after 7th Cross?
That really depends on a couple different factors. Mostly how quickly things come together for either of these games. Like Millennium Blades obviously is a bit easier because we already have the rule set finished up. Whereas 7th Cross still we have a lot of content that we're drawing and working on.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the kind of plans we're making right now. They're not 100% solid yet.
All right. Okay. So I have a question for both of you, which is related to this topic. All right. So I know Brad didn't really participate a lot in the development of this, right? This was more of a Josh thing and Fabio thing, right? But Brad and Fabio, I'd like to ask, what's been your favorite card of this set? I was able to ask this to Josh that one time. I guess it's very nice to ask both of you now.
Well, you should go first, Fabio.
Considering all the crap I've drawn for now, you're asking me to pick a favorite? God damn it.
I mean, you made all of these.
I'm not asking you. Marco's asking.
You made all of these, and as much as people would like to say that they have no favorite kids, they're lying.
I would have to say it's, for now, it has to be Duck Nukem.
Duck Nukem?
It's exactly what it sounds like, and I'm sure you're putting an image up right now.
Yeah, there it is. It's out, boys. So here's the thing. I'd like you to talk to me about the inspiration. Just kidding. What's the quote on Duck Nukem's thing? What's the quote?
We haven't written. I don't know if we've written the quotes yet. Have we?
Do we? Not every card has a quote yet, by the way. Let's see if
Come on, if it's a Duck Nukem card, it has to have a quote.
Hail to the wing, baby.
Wow.
No, more like
that's
Hail to the wing, baby. That was a terrible Duck Nukem.
Yeah, that's terrible. You sounded way more like
terrible.
It was pretty good.
No, here's the thing. It's terrible because when you said it, in my head I wasn't like, yes, that's Duck Nukem. I was like, no, that's Austin Powers. Okay, that's a bit closer, but again, you sound more like Austin Powers or Austin Powers Duck mode, right?
What's even happening anymore?
I don't know. This is what happens Brad, when you talk about Millennium Blades.
This is what happens.
Yeah,
exactly.
I guess so.
This is just a meme show now. Brad, how about you? What's your favorite card so far that you've seen at least?
So it's actually not in Collusion, but I really liked so there's a set we're doing for Board Game Geek, which is going to be out in November. If you go to BGGCon, you can get this set, or you can get it through the Board Game Geek website in another month or two. And there's a card in there called Galactic Trend Settlers.
Oh.
And it's a crossover between Settlers of Catan and Race for the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And it's probably I don't know if you've played either of these games.
I played Catan.
I wrote some flavor text for this card, and I'm very happy with it. So, when you get a chance to see the card, and if you've played either if you played Race for the Galaxy specifically, you'll appreciate the flavor text on this one.
What is it?
It's difficult to say. It's like because in Race for the Galaxy they have all these weird effects that are just like a bunch of symbols and letters strung together. They look like math equations.
Okay, yeah.
And so the quote is like, yo, man, I'll trade you that wood for my, and then it's this weird math equation.
Oh no, it's so true though. It's so true. I've seen the art for this. I'll put it up on screen now.
Yay!
It's up,
so
baby.
That's probably my favorite. The other favorite is the fishy boat, which is the Machikoro ripoff. So
it's not even a parody; it's just a straight ripoff.
Yeah. So apropos of nothing, I said, "Oh, let's make another copy," and it's exact same copy of the card, same art and everything, but it's called Fishy Boat Legacy.
Oh no!
And all you do is every time you play it, you draw a pair of sunglasses on one of the fish, and then you get 2 points for each pair of sunglasses in the image. And I found out later, like 2 or 3 days later, that there actually is a Machikoro Legacy.
Oh no!
And so it was kind of a.
We're getting
I was like, let's pick a game that that definitely won't get a Legacy version. And then, sure enough, Machikoro Legacy was announced.
Oh my gosh. So you're telling wait, this is cool. This is something cool you just talked about right now. And it's the fact that this card gets better as you play it. It's a literal legacy card in a non-legacy game. That's pretty cool.
Nobody's going to ever play it because it starts off worth 2 points.
Okay, that's true though. Unless you're memeing, unless you're doing like a flip strat, it might work.
I guess.
Anyway, that's pretty interesting.
It's meant to be silly though. It's one of those nobody asked for this moments.
Hey, Brad, this is Millennium Blades. Don't say sorry about being silly. That's the entire freaking point, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, okay. So that pretty much does it for the pipeline where we talk about Level 99 Games news and updates and memes, apparently, because that's all this segment was about. If you want us to talk about other specific topics, or
too bad.
Yeah, too bad. We're gonna talk about Millennium Blades all the time. This is actually now called the deck. This is actually called the deck list now. And in this segment, I, your host, Miyami Yugi. No, just kidding.
What?
Kaiba. No, just kidding. We're gonna move on to the next segment now, also known as 99 Questions, where I take your cards and questions, and then Duro Hatsudo answer desu. Wah! And we answer them. Yes, indeed. That
was Batman Ninja worthy, Marco.
Monkeys.
Synchro Shokan. I can activate Answer of Greed. It allows me to take 3 questions from my deck and then answer them with the help of my friends, Brad and Fabio. Question number 1 is very simple. With all the lore behind of Indians, what events stand out as being the most exciting events to talk and write about? Are there areas in the Indians lore that you've always wanted to explore in greater depth but haven't been able to expand upon yet?
Yeah, I wanted to do a little bit more with the story of Argent, and so I'm kind of building out the lore for that segment of the world's history right now.
Which is kind of weird, in my opinion. Isn't Argent literally like the base setting that Indians sprouted out from?
It is, but it didn't have its own story. Like, it's just a setting. And then with Argent the Consortium, we put together a story for it. It was a very rudimentary kind of story, and I've been expanding on that over time.
I see.
So that's one area that I'd like to, see more on. I really need to keep up with the current events though, because I haven't. I need to fully flesh out the Underland story arc as well, which is the one that the game is currently going through right now with Wanderers.
Yeah, okay. So, it's really interesting to me, right? Like, somebody in the chat once said that they were like, coming from other games like Yomi and Fantasy Strike, I was really impressed by the amount of in-depth lore Indians has. And I was like, you know what? Let me show you something. And then I linked them, like, Arbco's, like, 400-page PDF with all of the lore segments. And they were like, this has images, right? I'm like, no, it doesn't have images. It's just 400 pages worth of lore text. And I think they lost their minds. So, Fabio, how about you? Like, I know you don't really write anything for Indians, but, like, you've drawn some of the art for some of the games set in Indians. So, like, what aspect of Indians would you want to know more about?
People who don't do magic.
Like, are we talking specifically like the Indian super robot?
I know they exist. People who don't do magic,
or like the Indians Game of Thrones.
No, I think like Fabio's talking more about like how he's sick of how every character in this world somehow has magic or uses magic or has a magical ability, and he just wants to have a normal boy.
Yeah. Like,
well,
some more normal people roaming around.
We have talked about doing a game that is about the mercenary companies of Indians, which is more low fantasy.
Yeah, but even then, right?
Even then, you're gonna have your zombie mercenaries and stuff. But
doesn't Geralt use a wizard as a striker?
He has one. Yeah, he has one wizard.
Mage lady, I don't remember her name.
Yeah, one mage that works with him.
But wait, don't all humans in Indians have magic?
To a small degree. I mean,
there's
it's like
one that doesn't, at least.
Like all humans can weightlift too, but you don't see everybody going around doing it.
That's fair. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. You've talked about the challenges of getting big licenses for Exceed. Since Exceed has become more popular and you have experience with some licenses now, for example with Automata, has it gotten much easier to have conversations with license holders? Do you have enough working licenses?
Next question.
Okay. Do you have enough working licenses to have a new Exceed season every 6 months?
No, next question.
When do we get a Star Wars or Marvel season?
No, next question.
Oh my gosh, I feel like there's a certain pain point here, Brad, but I don't know if we can talk about it on podcast.
Oh my gosh, I've been working on a license, and I'm not going to tell you which license, for like 8 months, and we've been talking back and forth like every week. And last week they were just like, "Yeah, we decided not to do this."
Oh man,
I'm real mad. But it's okay. It's okay. Moving through. It's fine.
All right. So last question. This is very interesting. I think both of you can answer this. Why are people who play competitive games so mean? Dude?
I love single player, don't you?
Yeah, I do like single player games.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man on the PS4.
You don't have to deal with certain kinds of people. I would go in detail about what to call them, but this is meant to be a family-friendly show.
Huge jerkos is a family-friendly way to say that, right? Huge jerkos.
Yeah. That the only names I could think of are not really family.
All right.
Well, I feel that competitive players can put too much weight on victory and defeat, and once a game becomes about winning and losing, and not really about having fun with friends, then things tend to go off the rails.
Yeah.
So, like when whether you see win or loss at the end is the only metric of whether or not you had a good time, and you let everything ride on that, including like your identity and your sense of accomplishment and your good feelings about yourself. It's a dark road. So I want to encourage you guys who are playing competitive games to, take it with a grain of salt. It's really about the journey, and it's about having fun. And if at some point you're not having fun and you're only there to win, you're probably in the wrong place.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah,
that too.
Don't be a Richard. Don't be such a Richard, right?
Yeah.
I think this is very important for us, right? Because most of our games are competitive, or at least have some sort of competitive nature to them. And with the release,
and I really love playing competitive games with my friends. And we sit around, we play these games. Sometimes we trash talk each other in good fun. But sometimes I go online and I play a competitive game, and when we play this game for like 20-30 minutes, and then at the end we lose, and people are like, this was awful. And sometimes I'm even like, well, this was no fun. Like, why did I spend 30 minutes on something that wasn't fun?
yeah.
Like, well, I was looking for the wrong thing when I sat down to play this game. I was looking to win, and not to enjoy the game itself.
It's quite unfortunate. Yeah, how about you, Fabio? What do you feel about, like, how do you deal with competitive games? Or do you just play single player games forever?
Actually, I don't play competitive games all that much, especially online ones.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't feel like dealing with overly insecure people who just live to insult other people, whether they win or lose or whatever. Because let's face it, that's the problem for a lot of people. They go in to lash out on others, and they end up ruining the experience for everybody else. And I don't know if going online to play something with someone means I'm gonna have to deal with people like that all the time. I don't know. I like single player games.
That's
also
true. That's true.
Also, I don't need to wait for matches.
Oh, that's one.
I can play whenever I want.
Yeah. People's scheduling is a bit of a problem. So that's a message to all of you BattleCon Online players out there, It's either, like, don't put too much weight into winning or losing. Be like me. I play Rifflum, so, it's never about winning for me. But if you end up in a situation where you're able to interact with another player, try to be nice and don't be too mean, I mean, most of our players are really good about this, but, with an influx of new players coming in, we might have some new listeners too. So I hope all of you go out there and enjoy playing the game for the game itself, and not just so that you can see the word victory at the end of your screen. So as much as I would like to keep going and talking about stuff for this podcast, let's end it, because I'm sure that all of you would like to get back to work. So as usual, it has been me, your host, Marco DeSantos, also known as Mechanic Critic, and I would like to thank all of you for this wonderful, wonderful episode of the Level Cap Podcast. I want to thank the listener who has been listening this entire time. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please put in the comments section down below. I would like to thank my co-host, D. Brad Talton.
That's you.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. Did I need to confirm that? Everyone knows who I am and what I sound like by now.
Yeah, but like, it's still good.
The important person here is our esteemed guest co-host, Fabio Fonch.
What?
Let's give it up for Fabio.
Yay! I feel special.
You are special, Fabio.
Okay.
Yeah, Fabio. Yeah. Hey, Fabio, can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you end the podcast by saying thank you, World of Indians, thank you and good night, but in your Mario impression?
Oh god. Saying what again?
Thank you, World of Indians. Thank you and good night.
Oh man.
Thank you, World of Indians. Thank you and good night.
Wow, happy
Amazing.
gaming.